So I have to tell you that the algorithm is trying to destroy this channel. The problem is that I made a couple of videos in English, and my regular audience, which is very, very small, did not welcome the videos because they didn't want to read the subtitles or whatever. And the algorithms noticed that and decided not to show any of my videos afterwards or something like that. However, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because this channel is so small that you, by watching it, are already changing the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to tell you very briefly the core of the problems the world faces. And literally, it is what I'm going to tell you. However, I'm obviously going to simplify it. Uh, Essentially, the world is a bowl of rice. A bowl of rice that is served to you and leaves you satisfied. So one for you, it's enough. That's it. What is it that you do afterwards? What do you do if you do not want to, if you don't have the craving for food? What is it that you do? And the answer is incredibly diverse. What I would do, I would, let's say, read something. I would like to write something. I would like to maybe play a game, computer games. Maybe I could draw something, do a watercolor or whatever. Therefore, there are so many, many, many options for whatever you do after you have had your bowl of rice. Those options are the economy. Now, imagine that you have one bowl of rice for yourself, but you also get 9 other bowls of rice. What do you do with those other bowls of rice? Who do you give it to? That is something that you can do. You can acquire more bowls of rice and you give it to other people so that they do what you would like them to do. Therefore, that structure of behavior, that economic structure, it is never reasonable. It is always whimsical. And it is there, shaping like this, shaping like that, constantly moving, constantly doing this, constantly doing that. But there is a choosing. There are paths that you do. For example, I am not a meat cleaver. I am not. Someone who cuts up meat. What's the name for that? I am not. Let's say, I am not a lawyer. I am not a physician. I am not a doctor that attends people with problems, with ailments. I am not one of those that does any of those things. Therefore, for me, there are restrictions, limitations. I do this, I don't do that. And that goes for everybody. And that goes to no matter how many bowls of rice you may have, there is always a limitation. There is always a shape chosen, not by you, not by them, not by him, not by it. It is just a shape of the general agreement of our whimsical wills to do something. And there is never a problem with that. That doesn't mean that the shape is reasonable. It never is. That's the point. It never is reasonable. It is whatever whimsical stupidity or intelligent or interesting, or whatever thing some people agreed on. That's it. So when does the problem come? The problem comes when you had 100 bowls of rice and now you have 90, just 90, 90, and you have to cut 10 bowls of rice, 10 days of people not working. Can it be done? Yes, to a degree, and no, to a degree. Yes, because it is adaptable. The structure is adaptable. It can adapt to whatever. Although you can only do so many things, you can adapt to choose to do one of those things. You don't have to do them all. You cannot do them all. Right? Society is the same way. Therefore, it can adapt. It is not a problem. However, there is also the opposite. There cannot be an adaptation to the problem if you want to keep things going the same way. What does that mean? It means that when you receive 90 bowls of rice, instead of cutting, what you do is that you reduce the amount of rice everyone's giving. And instead of having a problem for 10, you have a problem for 100 because you want to keep them there doing something that they no longer should because you cannot afford it anymore. Okay, think about it. Think about it. It is a simplification, but it is a very reasonable simplification. It is the core of all of our problems. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. And there are plenty of videos that you could also watch with subtitles. Thank you for your time.